Hi friends, Chetan Saini here. Welcome back to my YouTube channel, Procrastination. You can check out my book, The Perfect Drug, in the description below. It vividly indulges into the subject of science, spirituality, and supernatural. In this podcast, I will talk about the most deadly disease on this planet, procrastination. We all have been inflicted by it at some point in our lives, or maybe we still are. But before I deep dive how to beat procrastination, we need to understand why we procrastinate in the first place. So, procrastination is simply a state where instead of doing the priority activity, we aimlessly spend our time doing what we are happy to do so. So, to break out of the old habit and create a new one, I would suggest you watch my podcast, How to Be Successful with Just One Person Alteration to Routine. Anyway, another reason we sometimes procrastinate is if our minds are engaged in shallow pleasures. With just the tap of our finger, our lives are bombarded with temptations and entertainment. Since our brain has this primal instinct of instant gratification, we fell into this recursive cycle of self-satisfaction. So don't be harsh on yourself, just realize procrastination is a state where your primal instinct of gratification has kicked in. And FYI, this instinct is a derivative of our evolution from monkeys. So it's perfectly natural and it happens with all of us. Everyone on this earth procrastinates. If you observe yourself carefully, you only procrastinate for certain activities. For instance, in my case, it is cleaning my study room. For you, it could be going to gym. So appreciate yourself for the activities you are proactive about and don't hate yourself for procrastinating. Third reason that I recently discovered for procrastination is because of burnout. Being consistent often comes with a price. Burnout is a stage where you start losing focus and interest in your activity and decide to postpone or procrastinate your work. This is a perfectly natural state. You can't be bored out of your daily routine habits and don't feel like doing it anymore. The way to beat this state is to make sure that you have proper rest and relaxation before starting your activity. And while doing that activity, you can bring some variation to it. Maybe do it a little differently or listen to music while doing it. So bringing some variety can bring back your interest and help you beat procrastination much easily. Also, a major point I would like to highlight. These days, people have become so relentless that they don't recognize the burnout phase. They won't pressurize themselves into working more and more, but won't treat the root cause. See, no matter the amount of success you can gain, it is not worth your physical or mental health. So analyze if you are going through a burnout zone. Deal with it carefully. Recharge yourself, realign your focus, and then resume grinding for your goals. Now that we have decoded procrastination, we can talk about how to beat it. Think about the activity you procrastinate the most and recall the mental thought process that arises with it. In case of procrastination, we often escape by saying to ourselves, I don't feel like doing this right now. I'll do it later when I feel like it. For example, I was procrastinating posting this video. Understand this. Our feelings are always in a state of flux, always in motion, whereas our thoughts are much more stable. If you frequently let your feelings influence your thoughts, you will notice it becomes hard to be consistent. But change your mindset to make yourself feel based on what you think. You can influence what you feel by focusing on what you think. Alter your belief system. Think along the lines like, I would keep my emotions aside while working and then reward myself for my hard work. I will start the work no matter what I feel. I'd keep working till I feel good. Success is more about your mindset rather than your actions, and to beat procrastination, this shift in perspective is a game changer. Also, don't make your decisions whether you feel like it or not. Make decision whether it is urgent or important. To ease this decision-making process, I follow Eisenhower matrix. This helps me beat procrastination. As you can see on the screen, there are 4 quadrants, and based on the priority and urgency, you can decide which task will fit in which quadrant. If a task is important and urgent, then you will naturally do it and you won't even procrastinate about it. But if it is not urgent, then you can schedule it for a later time, set an alarm, or mark your calendar to do it as per your convenience. If it is not important but urgent, then you can delegate to someone else, perhaps your junior or your sibling. And if it is neither of these, then you can eliminate it. If you analyze your day, a lot of social media activity falls under this category. It just kills our valuable time, the time you can utilize for fulfilling your goals. So, spend your time wisely. Effective planning also helps to beat procrastination. Once you pick a task, break it in little parts because our mind has a tendency to shut down itself if it cannot comprehend the complexity of an activity. But effective planning turns a daunting activity into a series of manageable tasks. Because with planning, you also dedicate time to it. And once you start the activity, you can start the timer so that even if you are least interested, at least for the sake of your reward, you can maintain focus for that long. Another important aspect to beat procrastination is to manage the critical phase. When you are just starting your work, that is the most critical phase because there is an invisible war going on between procrastination and consistency. Your concentration is weak and distractions are at its peak. So keep distractions at bay. For example, in my case, when writing, my cell phone is in D&D mode and always away from my vision. Similarly, identify your distraction and maintain maximum distance from it. If you keep your distractions at bay long enough, then comes a beautiful tipping point where you are at the flow, or some like to call it the zone. In this state, you don't even check the clock, you are somehow merged with the activity and lose every aspect of reality. It is a blissful feeling, and it is this sensation that separates ordinary from extraordinary. Once you acquire this feeling, it will boost your self-esteem when you realize you can achieve anything by just putting your focus into it. And you will be inclined to witness this feeling of flow again and again. But as you know, persistence is the critical component of success. So when you can create this feeling of flow at your will and timing, then trust me, success will knock on your doorstep. Last but not the least, create a support system around you. Talking about your goals with your family and friends will bring you one step closer towards materialization. They can also suggest some valuable feedback and help you create an environment that's conducive for your success. Some people say that it's counterproductive to talk about your goals before they are being implemented. So even if you're not comfortable talking about your goals, at least you can discuss a system that they follow to implement their goals. I guess I have shared some helpful steps to beat the procrastination. I wish you all the best for your life journey. Do comment on what topic you would like me to prepare the next podcast. Till then, take care and see you soon.